What is up, guys? Yonder and Neko here, and with Ruby vs. Maka being episode 200, I thought I'd pop out a quick prediction. While I could just say, oh, Maka wins, GG, goodbye, I thought I'd take some time to talk about both characters a little bit. So, starting with Ruby, uh, obviously she has Crescent Rose, Monty's baby, the weapon the entire show was basically designed around. It's Parrot Scythe, and insert the weapon artist talking about how scythes are actually kind of impractical weapons because you have to like hook around your opponent to cut them rather than traditional stabs and slashes. And it's Parrot Sniper Rifle, but not any sniper rifle. The model it was based off of was the Barrett 50 cal, the staff of Rodney Barrett himself, what John Moses Browning used to parrot the Red Sea, all of that. So it is Parrot Scythe, Parrot 50 cal. Okay, I actually think it's bolt action, so it's not a Barrett 50 cal, but the bolt action parrot came in later, okay? So don't at me on that. Point being, it's a sniper scythe. But it should be noted that Guns and Ruby are different from Guns in their world for two reasons. One, they use dust ammo. Basically elemental bullets. You got fire, ice, lightning, gravity. All your JRPG elemental types are in it. And two, given that characters, at least in the early seasons, used recoil to move around, you could actually argue that the bullets in Ruby actually hit far harder than bullets in our world. Not enough to grant her a win, but oh, I completely forgot to mention this was supposed to be. So I will mention my loyalty to both series when I cover them, but outside of Payday 2, Ruby was one of the few series I got artistically into. Then it got very frustrating around like Volume 5, and I started to artistically study its decline. So that's my history on Ruby. It's always going to hold like a special place into my heart. Although, funny enough, I was introduced to it via the Yang v Tifa death battle, so it's almost fitting, you know. I was introduced to a controversial series through a highly controversial death battle. Anyway, so back to the analysis. That's Crescent Rose. It's a sniper scythe. She also has Aura, which, okay, so the rules of Aura have like swapped with every season, so I'll try my best to cover it. It's your anime standard spiritual power that every living being has to some degree. Although in Ruby it can do three things: shield you from attacks, protect you from heal minor wounds, and I do mean like minor wounds. It's not like healing stabs or gunshots or even broken bones, really. Like outside of Jean amplifying Laura to heal, I don't actually recall Laura healing anything significant. I believe it also has some, it does provide mild protection against extreme environments, I think. And lastly, it can fuel semblances, which semblances also like change with every season or every volume. But basically, they're superpowers everybody has that may or may not be based on their personality. And Ruby has Petal Burst. which she becomes like this red streak of rose petals that she can use for speed, pseudo flight, or she can split into multiple petal bursts to like evade incoming attacks. Although, as soon as Aura runs out, she can't use her semblance. Or also, it should be noted that technically speaking, and I mean we've seen this maybe 2-3 times, you can fight without Aura, but given that Aura breaks seem to have a sort of fatiguing or incapacitating effect, it's kind of a moot point unless you're against someone equally weakened. She also has silver eyes, but that's only like exclusively named to only work against Grimm and is basically irrelevant for this episode. It's anti-Grimm laser eyes, more or less. Or like an anti-Grimm flashbang. It's completely irrelevant to this fight. Now, moving on to stats for AP. Honestly, there's not a lot of direct feats she has. Like, there's pulling up the Nevermore from the cliff. The iconic, like, players and pieces ending shot. That gets to, like, wall level, I'm pretty sure. But with chain scaling, we can get her to, like, town level, I believe, because she should scale to Penny, who was able to pull up Lift Parrot of Amity Arena. Now, if we really kind of want to highball, we can scale her to Cinder and Ozpin. Well, Cinder, who broke through Ozpin's shield, which can hold up to the whole explosion that killed Monstra, which gets to, like, city level, because the giant Grim Whale was basically nuke level. So, we can get her to nuke level with heavy wank. Well, not heavy wank, but yeah, she's like city level. As for speed, honestly, you can argue lightning timer, but given that most Ruby characters should have laser dodging feats thanks to Penny as well, we can get her anywhere from like 30% light speed to like 3 times light speed. So possibly fast, because that's, like how speed, look, laser dodging's weird, because based on like how close it is to how many lasers there's like a bunch of ways to calculate it and like assumptions. The way I like describe speed scaling is, if you fired like a bullet at me from the other side of the state, I don't need to move at Mach speed in order to like dodge it. If you're to like fire a bullet at me from a foot away, I'd have to move like at Mach 2, Mach 3 to. Same thing, it's like, she should have like laser dodging, but there's a wide range of what that puts her at. But at best, she's faster than light, but like not one of those characters that's a bajillion times faster than light. And as for attacks, there's really only like Petal Burst and like Elemental Dust. She's actually a pretty straightforward character. Now, moving on to Maka. So, Soul Eater was like the second or third anime I've ever seen, so it's always gonna hold that a bit of a special place in my heart. Now, in Soul Eater, there's 2 types. Also, it should be noted, it's technically Maka and Soul. That's just not as ringing. And that's because in Soul Eater, there's 2 types of people. Meisters, who wield weapons to fight monsters called Keishans, and also sometimes have like some soul resonance spirit powers. And there's weapons, people that can transform parts or all of their body into weapons, and also consume the souls of said monsters to get stronger. So Maka's a Meister, soul is the weapon, and due to basically having a compatible soul wavelength, because in order to use a weapon you need to have like compatible soul wavelength with them, you have to be in sync, they get to fight. Now, admittedly, I'm only really familiar with the anime, not too familiar with the manga, so Maka's thing, she has her giant scythe, which, again, not practical weapon, but this is anime, so, we can ignore the fact that scythes kinda suck IRL. She also has, I believe, Witch Hunter, which makes the blade all big and glowy, and it's like a finishing move. She has Flight as well. Black Blood, which basically it's like blood that's hard as steel, provides some protection and healing properties. And I believe in the manga she has like a black blood dress form where the super hard blood is now on the outside. Not sure it makes much of a difference, but like, oh no, the shield's on the inside, shield's on the outside. Either way, they're not gonna cut you. And I believe she has madness, like, manipulation, because in Soul Eater, madness is like this actual concept. It's so basically some degree of mind fuckery, if you could call it that, as well as, I believe, soul manipulation. I know she can, like, kind of see souls from the anime, but I'm not sure if she can. But apparently she also has, like, soul manipulation and other stuff. So, yeah. As for stats, for AP, well, there's Krona creating a giant, like, blood domain, like, cage around a city in Ukraine, which can easily get you to city level. But also Blackstar knocked a tooth out of the moon. Now in Soul Eater, the moon's like this giant face with bleeding eyes and stuff. It's kind of like something you'd see out of a bad creepypasta. But anyway, the moon is weird and not like an actual moon. But even like knocking parts off of it gets you like to, I believe, multi-continental. So AP wise, yeah, it's a horrific stomp. As for speed, it's about closer. She should have laser dodging feats, which can get her to like relativistic to maybe a few times F faster than light. So stat wise, like, yeah, Maka should take it pretty easily due to AP. But yeah, that's kind of just me rambling about both series. And also just Maka straight up out-taxes. She has more consistent flight, I believe. A better shielding, because Black Blood doesn't run out, or it does. And also, again, like, mind manipulation, madness manipulation stuff, which, given that Ruby drank the unaliving tea in Volume 9, she's not exactly the toughest person, I'll say. So, yeah, that's episode 200. Definitely the best option for an episode 200 given the Ash Yugi delay, because, like, I would not want to see Bugs versus Mickey. It would have been too close for it would have been too soon for another Toon Force fight. I would not want to see the cereal mascot battle royale because, yeah, I mean, it's a company inside joke. Like, if you're not in on it, it's very just not funny, frankly. And I would not have cared for Mario vs. Sonic 3. So, I also forgot to mention. So, when I say it's a stomp, that's with base in series scaling. Fire, if we bring in Fire Force, which is like the prequel series to Soul Eater, we can actually get her to Universal because apparently there's some like universe creation or universe reset feat that if we want to scale Maka to, we can make this an even bigger stomp. But yeah, only way Ruby wins this is if we give her the BlazBlue cross tag battle scaling, which she just shouldn't flat out not scale to. If we give her the moon shadowing feat from the Gods of Destruction, which again, she should just blatantly not scale to. And if we give her the moon shadowing feat and don't give Maka Fire Force scaling, Ruby wins. If we give Ruby BlazBlue scaling and give Maka Fire Force scaling, I'm assuming both cosmologies are relatively equal. I'd argue Maka out-taxes and wins, but point being, only way like Ruby wins this is if we have some like crazy double standards on our hands. So that's my thoughts on the episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next vid.